County has once again dismissed a lawsuit trying to hold a Georgia company accountable for selling the sperm of a convicted felon diagnosed with a serious mental health illness. Investigator Rebecca Lindstrom has covered this case for nearly 2 years. Rebecca, help us sort out the court's ruling here.
Fulton County Judge Robert McBurney says if families want to hold sperm banks accountable, they are going to have to change state law first. Wendy Norman filed the lawsuit after she learned her son was conceived using sperm from a donor that appeared to have lied, among other things, about his mental health. She believes that's why her son has struggled for years with suicidal and even homicidal thoughts. While the lawsuit claimed negligence and false advertising for failing to properly vet the donor, Judge McBurney says it's really a wrongful birth lawsuit, which isn't allowed under state law. When we spoke with the teen about 2 months ago, he was shocked the industry didn't have better safeguards in place.
It's literally people's lives and children, so you would think it'd be, more regulated than like airplanes and flying and all guns and all this other stuff, but it's super unregulated.
The family says they plan to appeal, so the fight is not over. The 14-year-old bravely came forward, opening up about his own mental health concerns, hoping to make a difference. While it seems McBurney understands why parents are so frustrated, in his ruling he writes, until the law is changed, it dictates the outcome of this case. The question now, are there any lawmakers willing to get involved?
Such a big and important issue, an industry that is largely unregulated. Rebecca, thank you.